All right, hello everybody. We are live on Facebook too. And this is going to be super exciting because today I'm here only with Ben and we'll be talking about productivity. And honestly, I think that Ben and Will are the right guys to talk about productivity because you see, you actually requested a feature on a Facebook group and these guys did it in like, I don't know, 4 days. So these guys know actually something about productivity. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, it's definitely right. I mean, that's the reason Will's not here with me right now. I mean, he was up till 4 in the morning trying to get this virtual folders feature.
Yeah, I mean, sleep is one of the crucial aspects of productivity. So
yeah, if I could ever give a productivity,
he's getting some sleep.
All
right. Anyway, so everybody, we are going to be talking about how to boost your productivity and optimize your workflow with Publist, and Ben will be sharing some cool hacks, how to use Publist and so on. So I think we can slowly start. But before we'll do, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Zoom or under the Facebook live video, either on Facebook page or either in a Facebook group. And if you have any questions, we will reach out to you and answer them live. So that's about it. My name is Jakub. I'm CMO of PitchGround. I'll be hosting this webinar, and I think we can jump right into it. What do you think, Ben?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, amazing. So why don't we start with press kit as usual? Just quickly go through it.
Sure. Let me share my screen really quick then.
Of course. Amazing.
So
your screen.
Got it. Yeah, is that working?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to download this press kit right here from Publist, actually.
Guys, I know that you've seen this multiple times already in the past webinars, but it's actually good to think about why we are here and to remind everybody what we are doing here. So that's why we will actually go through it now.
Okay.
All right. I see more and more people are joining on Facebook and on Zoom as well. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dimitris, and hello, number one. I can see actually only number in your name. So hello, everybody.
here's the deck. If you want to I can really briefly go through everything.
Yeah, go briefly.
Why we're building Publist, the inspiration behind it, how we got to where we are today. So yeah, we've been building Publist, as most of you I'm sure know. We're trying to connect all of the apps and cloud storage platforms that people use so you can keep, search, store, organize all of your files in one place. We think that we used to be able to work really efficiently and productively on our desktops when we had everything in one place and had all of our apps in one place. And it was great that we moved to the cloud because obviously the cloud has a lot of really unique advantages. But we also lost a lot moving to the cloud. So, on one hand, it was great that now we have all these really specialized cloud apps that we couldn't do without. And each of them, one or two or three things really well. And that's why I love them. But we really need a way to centralize them again and to have them all in one place and to, let them communicate and have files from one work with the other. And that's what we're trying to accomplish with Publist. So here's a quick background on Will and I. Will's been working on startups forever since he was 15. And I've been doing
Ben, the cryptocurrency expert.
Yeah. Last two startups I worked on were both in crypto and blockchain.
Amazing.
So if anybody in the group is interested, always reach out. Always down to talk shop with blockchain. So like I said, the cloud's been exploding, and it's just everything scattered across the internet now, and we will really want to bring that back into one place.
All right.
And then. So here are a few of those challenges I was talking about. The apps are siloed. There's many different clouds. Specialization is great on one hand, but there's no consistency on the other. So your data from one app might not be able to talk to the other. So if I've got a file in Excel, I might not be able to edit it somewhere else. And everything's web-based, which we want to move away from with our desktop app. Obviously, the cloud's not going anywhere. It's been it's been expanding so rapidly, and it's obviously very useful. So we definitely think this space will be around for a while. And here are a few trends that just really inspired the creation of Publist. So other softwares are becoming more and more collaborative. So having one hub for all of them totally makes sense. Knowledge bases and notes centralization. Actually, this is a really interesting one because last night I was just starting to set up our frequently asked questions page in our knowledge base for Publist. And it seems that that's what everybody's doing. There's just so much information people have to hold at work that it's hard to keep track of it all. And that's why these apps are coming up. And it also, makes a really good space for Publist. We're seeing more and more APIs, which we obviously get to leverage with our app. And people are just more and more focusing on having less apps and focusing their data.
Mm-hmm. And
so as I'm sure most oh, go ahead.
All right, thanks a lot. This was really quick. So let's jump right into it. How actually Publist can help us being more productive. If you could say like number one thing, which will make our workflow and our life more productive and more frictionless, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing is you just need one place to go to find all of your work.
Mm-hmm.
And then soon to edit all of your work. But it just doesn't make sense. Everybody in this group, I'm sure, is very busy. Like even this morning, when I was getting ready for this webinar a couple months ago, I would have had to go into Slack to see where Will sent me that press tour. I would have had to, open Publist to find our roadmap. I would have had to open Gmail to find that Zoom link that you sent me. That's 3 apps right there, and I probably would have had to open a few more.
Wait, you can actually find Zoom links and links in a Publist too?
Well, I just saved it into Publist.
Right, I see. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So, but actually, that's an interesting idea. But we talked about being
in every email and everywhere. It's full of links. Like it's crazy how many links are around.
Yeah.
It would be just.
That's actually really interesting because we save all the files right now. The links might be an interesting way to do it as well. Same with but I mean, the real point is when I got ready for this webinar this morning, I knew exactly where everything was. And it took me 2 minutes to get ready. I sat down here a couple minutes before I got on. It was all just there. And so it made my life so much easier. I was so much less stressed this morning knowing that everything was ready.
I see.
And it was easy to organize too. So I'm going to show you guys a bunch of other ways, just like ways to make your life really easy with Publist.
All right.
But before I do, just a little bit of backstory about how we learned a lot of these tricks. Because I've actually talked over the last couple months with hundreds and hundreds of people about how they use their cloud data, where they keep their cloud files. And one of the best pieces of validation we ever got for Publist was when I started hearing about the DIY, the do-it-yourself ways that people were already trying to build Publist themselves. So I'm sure a lot of you guys use tools like Zapier.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that tons of people were already moving all their files into one place with Zapier. Some people were putting them all on Trello boards. Some people even had Google Docs and Google Sheets just full of links to files to keep their team organized.
Yeah, that's true. I'm one of them, actually.
That's actually one of the best ways we learned all these productivity tricks is I just asked people, you're using Zapier, you're using Google Docs, like what do you actually need those for?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to go through today.
All right. So you actually want to discuss like all these current workarounds, how people are using different apps and how you can actually eliminate these apps and these workarounds for Publist.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, if any of you guys are doing any of that, like if on your team, you have a Google Doc that has a whole list of files, I mean, you don't need to be doing that. Now with Publist, because we connect to all of the apps that you would have linked to, it's going to be really easy for you to just connect an app and then drag it into a folder. And that's exactly what I do every single time I start a new project now that I have Publist. So for example, I'm in my Publist folder here, right? I would just click on new folder and let's name this, here, just gotta go back. Let's rename this webinar. And now let's say, I needed a file from Slack that I want my whole team to be able to see. I could just go into Slack. I could find whatever it was my team sent me, and then just drag and drop it into Publist.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would find it right here, and I just drag and drop it into Webinar. And I do this every time I start a new project.
Okay.
I could just go through every one of my apps and find all of the relevant files. And then the next thing I'll do is usually when I start projects, I like to make a lot of Google Docs and Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we're going to be building our Publist app suite. But for now, I'll actually go within Publist and just create the Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides right here within the project.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, unlike creating them in Google Drive, I know that they're going to be next to all of the other relevant files from the rest of my apps. So I might create a Google Doc here. Just going to wait for that to load.
It actually redirects into the Google Doc, right?
Yeah, so it'll actually redirect into the Google Doc, and I would, maybe create a script for the webinar or something. And then I know it's going to be with all my other files. So that's the biggest thing.
All right.
The next really interesting productivity tip I found is, like, it was really interesting that so many people were using Zapier for files for us. Because what a lot of people were doing is just making it so they would automatically move all of their files to one cloud storage.
Can you actually say the specific example how people were using Zapier?
Yeah, totally. So what I found people were doing is they would make zaps, and if you guys aren't familiar with Zapier, you make zaps to move files or data between two different apps. So for example, I might want to move a file from Dropbox into Google Drive every time a new file is created. And they have tons of different apps you can do this with. But what I found people were doing was just taking every one of their cloud storage providers, and then, for example, anytime a new file is created, they just move it right into Dropbox. Just because they really wanted to have all their files in one place. But they also had tons of problems with this because, I mean, like, I love Zapier, it's a great app, but sometimes the zaps are slow, sometimes you get errors.
And I mean, you pay for it after some size, right?
Yeah, you have to pay for it, and it takes a while to set up all of those apps. Most people are using 12, 13, 14 apps. So it's a lot to manage. And they did it because it was a really important problem for them, but they definitely weren't happy with that solution. And with Publist, we make that really easy because all of your apps are already here. So everything's in one place. And then something we're thinking about adding in the future is if you do want to do backups, you'll be able to automatically store everything in all new files from.
Okay. All right. So the next thing on the top of my mind is how do I actually search through these files, because I have everything in one place, and I know that Publist search feature is actually quite good. But can you show us how can I do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. So here, let's here. I had a meme about the lifetime deal here. Let's search for that. I can be, no matter where I am on the sidebar, I just go to this little search bar. I will search, and there it is.
So it's all like automatically updated under like the search bar.
Exactly. So every time we scan all your connected apps, all those files automatically become searchable. We search all your connected apps as well as everything that's stored here in your Publist drives.
No, I actually thought that it's really cool that it's dynamically updated, that you don't have to hit the search and then wait, but you can actually get it right away. It's pretty amazing. All right. In Teams, you usually have to share files, send files, and so on. So if you could show us all the sharing features and how it's actually easier than with Google Docs, which actually is.
So, it is. Yeah. Well, so I'll show you two things because I mean, most of our Teams features are still to come. Will's only built; they're about halfway built. But right now, even let's say I wanted to send you this roadmap, I can hit share. Oh, whoops. I can hit share and just get a shareable link that I could send you right now, say on Facebook.
Okay. What will happen after I click it? Will I get access in Publist?
Yeah, you'll be able to open it in Publist.
All right. So it will be a preview in Publist window.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually experienced this exact thing when some people were sending us some reviews about Publist, and they were actually using Publist, which was pretty amazing.
I know. I saw that in the chats. I was really happy about it.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was so fast. I mean, with Google Drive, sometimes when I upload video, it's buggy because it will tell you that it's still processing, and it can be for days. I literally, when I was uploading some videos, it took so long that I used Dropbox or something. But with Publist, it's quite actually fast.
Well, you won't have to do that again. So, and then what's really cool, and how we're going to be, changing the way that people share files. That'll happen with a few of the features that are to come. The biggest way we want to do that is with shared drives. So my biggest problem with Google Drive is that every time I want to share a file with somebody, I have to go and edit the permissions individually. Or edit just the permissions for a folder. And I've got tons of options, and it's not hard to do, but it does take some time. And we want to make that simpler from a user experience perspective. So what we're going to do is make shared drives. So let's say I wanted to share this PitchGround drive with you. Then anytime I want to share anything with you, I just drag and drop it into PitchGround. And then I'll know that you have access because we're both a part of the drive.
And I can do it on all levels. So I can do it on a cloud drive level. I can do it on a folder level and on the single file level too.
And there's even one more. Yes, you can do all those. And then what's going to be really interesting for agencies and people that have a lot of clients they have to share files with is you'll also be able to share your connected apps. So let's say
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that one's one of the crazier features for building. So let's say you and I were both on Publist. Maybe I'm an agency, you're one of my clients, and I just want you to be able to see everything that I have in Dropbox about our project. I'll be able to just go to Dropbox and just share everything that's been imported into Publist with you.
Okay.
And I'll be able to make it view only. I'll be able to make it so you can edit. Whatever sort of permissions you need, we can handle.
And I will get access to it within the Publist again, right?
Within Publist, correct.
Yeah. And if I will upload something into the app, which is already shared, will it be automatically updated?
So could you give me an example? Like,
let's say that you shared this folder with me because I'm your agency client, right? And like after you shared this folder with me, you would upload like more and more files.
Oh yes, it'll automatically update. It's completely dynamic. So anything that comes up in Dropbox or anything that comes up in one of the folders I shared with you, it's always updating.
All right. Are there any other like productivity tricks we can do with Publist, or can we move on?
Yeah, there are a few interesting ones. So the last one I really want to get into, and then we can go into questions or any other ideas, is you can one of the things we're talking about doing is grouping folders by apps, by connected apps. So say like I know Will, for example, has a legal folder. And it'd be great for him to just any file from DocuSign, just have it automatically go into the legal folder. And right now you can do this manually. Like if I connect a DocuSign account, I can go into DocuSign, find all my files, and then just put it into my legal folder. Anytime I get emailed an attachment from a lawyer or a client that's going to be important for me, I can just drag and drop it into the legal folder. I could make a team folder. I could make say a to-do folder where I take things from Trello and eventually Asana once we have that integrated. So just one of the most useful things for me has been just making those types of folders and then just taking all the different documents that are relevant and putting them in.
That's impressive. I love it.
Thank you.
All right. So there are a few more things I want to discuss. I was actually talking to Will this morning. Morning my time. It was actually like I believe like midnight your time. So and there are two news you actually announced, or one new virtual files. Can we go through it now?
Yeah, totally. So
because that was quite a pivot after virtual folders, right?
Yeah, so I got to make sure everything's working. When I went to sleep last night, it's pretty early for me. When I went to sleep last night, Will was still working on it. So
what is the time there in Silicon Valley?
Yeah. Right now it's 9:50.
Okay.
But so I actually don't think it's live right now because if it was, we would see.
No, it's okay. So if you could just describe how it works or how it will work. Totally.
So right now when you saw me move one of those files, it just automatically appeared in my cloud drives, and that actually used some of my storage. So however much storage I bought from the lifetime deal, that would have taken out part of it. But what's going to happen is, let's say I want to move, an image. So I take this image and I'm going to move it into Publist. And once I do that, instead of just getting this adding files, I'll get a new modal that'll come up and it'll ask me if I want to move a link or if I want to move a copy.
I see.
So if I move a copy, it's actually going to copy it and store it onto Publist. If I move a link, it's just going to move a link from the image on the original app. So like, let's say I'm in Google Drive and I move a Google Doc. I guess that's a bad example because that's how it already works. But let's say I'm in Dropbox and I move, I move this PDF. And then if I were to select move link and I go to Publish and click on it, now when I click on this, it's going to actually open the file in Dropbox and it won't use any of my storage.
That's amazing. I mean, so I can literally like share files, move it into folders without like taking any of my storage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
We shouldn't
That's
even
really
be
cool.
We're not going to make any money.
No, I mean, it's like middle finger to all these storage companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I have a question. Let's say that you, again, I'm your client, your agency, and you are sharing this file from folder, which is not actually shared to me, and I don't see it, and you are sharing it into the folder, which is shared with me. Will it work? Like after you will move it there, this link, can I use it?
Right. So it would work if you also had access to this Dropbox.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, then yes. In that case, it would work.
That's cool. That's cool. All right.
Yes, that's that feature. And then, last thing to mention, I guess, is to keep it all organized. Once this feature is pushed out, you'll see little icons next to every one of your files, and you'll see a green check. That means stored. If you see a little black link icon, that means it's linked.
Can I actually sort these files in the future based on this?
Yeah, once we have our tagging system built, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things on your roadmap, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So when this feature will be live?
Hopefully as soon as possible. I know Will was up all night trying to get it live. I think it just took a bit longer than he expected. So it should be very soon.
Amazing. All right, but there's one thing why he actually decided to stay up late. That's a Gmail issue you actually faced. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, that one's unfortunate. And he has a couple tricks he's working on to fix this, but for now we are having some problems with Gmail. We're having some problems when users want to connect new accounts. It's not working. Gmail's limiting the amount of accounts that we can connect. So we really appreciate it. Sorry?
What is the limit?
Well, we've used the limit. So right now, anybody that wants to connect a Gmail account will have to wait a bit.
All right, so it's actually on a Publist like whole app level, right?
It's on a whole app level. Yeah.
And is it some new restriction?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's actually the long post you wrote into the group, like that you need to pay 75 grand. Yeah,
exactly. So there is a way I think that Will can get around that and get Gmail back up and running more quickly. So we'll keep everybody updated and really appreciate how patient everyone's been.
Yeah, I mean the feedback from community is great. I especially love the one comment there under the post that, hey guys, you should create more add-ons so we can help you like crowdfund this 75,000 grand. I mean, it was so good. It really made my morning. It was so amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You're amazing. All right, so we have so far only 2 questions. So let's answer them. You can actually stay in the Publist because it's related, of course. And the question is, how do we take the file out of Publist or delete it?
Sure. So let's say I'm in a folder here and I want to delete this Dropbox. So there's a couple things I could do. If I want to take it out of Publist, I can just hit download. And as you can see, it downloaded here. Now I can drag it onto my desktop, do whatever I need. And then if I want to delete, I can just hit delete right here.
Okay, and it's gone from Publist.
And it's gone from Publist. It's still going to be in my connected Dropbox, but it's gone from Publist.
All right, that's pretty cool.
And then, go ahead.
And if I will be doing this with a virtual link, what will happen?
Well, with a virtual link, you would have to go to the connected app. Okay. So I would have had to click that, and it would open in Dropbox, and then I'll have to bring it off of Dropbox.
Makes sense. All right, thanks a lot. Another question. How to give access to members of my teams, or is it still not available?
It's still not available. We'll be coming out with that in a couple of weeks with the rest of our team's features.
So how exactly it will look like?
Yeah, so you'll be able to make team accounts and just add members to your account basically, or you'll be able to just share them on individual drives.
I just see a comment under the live video on Facebook page from David Fox. I just purchased. I mean, this is amazing. Guys, you should do the same.
Yeah, I love that people like it. That's amazing. Thanks, David. Really,
you should totally do the same, guys. All right.
David, message me when you message me after you've used it. I'd love to chat and see what you think.
Yeah. All right, David. Message Ben, and let's talk a bit. All right, Ben. Before we will wrap this up, can you show us really quickly in just 2 minutes the roadmap? What we can actually expect?
Yep. Let me just get that up. Here we go. So we got all of our features here that we're working on the next 12 months. Will's working like a crazy person trying to get all these done. And we're looking to hire some outside help as well. I know we were talking about that in the forums. So first, we already built two-factor authentication.
Ben, hold on. Guys, you have a lot of questions about the future apps, future features, and the things Publist is actually working on. So right now is the really good time to ask, because we are talking about the roadmap. So if you have any questions regarding roadmap, just feel free to ask. Okay?
Yeah. Any questions? Happy to answer them right now. But I could just go through these in order. They're not ordered exactly chronologically. They're more or less chronological, but some things are getting moved around just based on how much demand we see for everything. So next is the client-side encrypted storage. This is going to be like in pCloud, you have your secure vault. This is going to be similar. It's just another layer of encryption on top to make your files even more secure. Eventually, you guys have all seen the coming soon list. We've been getting tons of feedback from all of you about new apps to put on coming soon. We're going to be building those new integrations as quickly as possible. We just got a question about how to delete files. So we're actually going to be building trash can and file retention, because right now, if you delete something from Publist, it is gone immediately. So we want to give you a little trash can you can drag files into. So if you change your mind, if you need the file again, it's there. We're going to be building advanced sorting. This one I'm looking forward to so much. This is going to allow you to just sort based on the type of file, the users that are shared with, dates, what app it came from, and other fields. And then eventually you're also going to be able to tag your files manually, so you'll have other ways to sort them.
Let's jump to tons of new integrations, because we have a question from our viewer who's just named 1 with a number. And he's asking, any update about Synology integration?
No, I don't have an update for you right now. After the webinar, I'll go check that one out. I did look at it last night, and I'm pretty sure we can do it, but I'll give you a more detailed comment right after we get off the webinar.
Amazing. All right, go on.
Yeah, so from there, after advanced sorting, new search page and advanced search features or filters. So I showed you how the search works, and it is great, but right now it only searches through the titles of your documents. So we want some advanced search features so you can actually search through the contents of your documents, as well as search by types and filter your searches by what apps they came from, and so on and so forth.
No, it will be super amazing if we can actually search through the contents of the files, because literally I know that my file is somewhere, but I cannot remember the name. I cannot remember if it was PDF or PNG.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So then embedding, this one's been huge. So we want to make it so you can embed your files onto your website or wherever you need to. So let's say you've got a video you want to put up on your website. You'll be able to store it in Publist and then embed it onto your website there. White labeling. So we are talking more about building some agency features for all of you resellers. A lot of you guys were really excited about that. We're still working out exactly how that's going to work. We're going to keep hashing out all the details this week, and then we'll update you on what's going on there.
Would it help you if some people who actually want to purchase white label would reach out to you and give you some suggestions?
That'd be amazing, actually. Yeah, so any of you guys that are waiting for agency features, please shoot me a message, or we could even start a thread, because I'd love to get that conversation going where we figure out exactly how things are going to work.
That'd be really cool. I actually saw the poll in a group, and agency was like a #1 option. So if you have any ideas, guys, about white labeling, just reach out to Ben or Will, and let's discuss it in the chat.
Perfect. So then next up, we've got the desktop app. We want all of these files to be available offline, and we want it to be, easier for you to access with the desktop app. And then there's also a few other things you'll be able to do with the desktop app. Like you'll be able to sync to a folder on your desktop. That's going to make Google Drive easier, because instead of using our little files picker, you can sync your Google Drive to a folder, which you can then sync to Publist. So tons of new features coming out with the desktop app, and it should just make things easier to use. Bring your own storage backends. So this one's actually already up with Amazon S3. Here's another little way we're putting the middle finger up to some cloud storage companies. Another way that we're making way too much free than we should. If you guys are using Amazon S3 already, you already have S3 buckets, you can feel free to connect those to Publist and actually use them as storage instead of using our storage.
You are rebels, guys, in this storage industry.
Pretty much. But and then we're going to be adding, Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, Backblaze is a great one, and a few more. Save and share documents to any connected app. This one's amazing. This is the two-way flow we talk about a lot. So we had a question about how can I move files out of Publist. Right now you can only download them and have the file like that, but we want you to be able to move files between any of your apps, not just into Publist. So, you can drag a file from Publist into Dropbox, or from Dropbox into Google Drive. That's going to really make us your hub for cloud storage. Drive sharing and member permissions. This is the Teams features we were talking about. Shared accounts and shared drives, and then, individual permissions on files. So the sharing links portal, we were just talking about, if I wanted to share a file with you, I'd take a link and I'd send it to you. If you want to manage all of the links you'd sent and get some information about them, this is where you'll do it. We want to build a Chrome extension. This one I am so excited for, because a lot of times when I want to find a file quickly, I don't want to open up a whole new app. And opening up more apps is exactly what we're trying to avoid with Publist. So just having a quick Chrome extension where I can find files, search for them, that'll be great. And then this will also allow us to connect to your downloads folder on your browser. So I download things off the web all the time, and I have a horrible time keeping track of them because the downloads folder on Chrome is honestly horrible for me to manage. So this will take all those files and show you them in Publist so you can actually organize them more easily. Download manager, same thing. And then advanced media player. So we want to, right now, you can view images, you can view videos, but there's lots of other stuff we can do. More an audio player. We want to really build that out. We want to have a mobile app because, again, we want you, we're the hub for your cloud files. We want you to be able to access them anywhere. So an iOS and an Android app that'll be built as soon as possible. And then, we did a whole webinar on these last two. So there's a ton to get in here and into with these. And if anybody hasn't seen it, I'd recommend just watching that webinar.
Yeah, guys, if you want to learn about the last thing in roadmap, which will be actually the biggest thing, what we are seeing here, I think we discussed it in 2 webinars back. So make sure you will watch it. It's a title as a special webinar or bonus webinar. So just make sure you will check it out.
Definitely. These are the 2 features that are really going to change the whole cloud storage market.
Yeah, I believe so. All right, Ben, we have last 4 questions. If you could answer them really quickly.
Sure.
Yusuf, thank you for teaching us. That's not a question, but it's a pleasure. You're welcome. Question from David Fox, who just purchased actually. Are you going to add in the future link protect by password?
Yeah, definitely talked about doing that. So once we have that link portal, that'll be done as well.
Question from Juan. Will you provide some kind of versioning? I think he's talking about, or she's talking about, versioning of the documents.
Versioning. Do you mean like will the documents sync when I edit them?
I really don't know. This is actually the answer. I don't know what he or she.
Okay, yeah. If you could shoot me a message about that, we can figure that one out.
Mm-hmm. And is there a way to make Publist work on the iPad Pro?
Yeah. So once we have the mobile app done, which I just showed you was towards the end of our roadmap. Once that mobile app's built, you'll be able to use Publist on the iPad.
Mm-hmm. All right. And last question: can you have a sync folder from your from your desktop to Publist, like Dropbox or Gmail?
Yeah. So we're going to release our desktop app in about a month, and then you'll be able to sync any folder from your desktop. Create a sync folder just for Publist, whatever you need to do.
All right. All right, then. I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, this is great.
This was amazing, guys. David already purchased. I don't know what you were still waiting for, but you can still purchase. Publist is actually backed by VC. I'm not sure if you know it, but same VC who backed Buffer, for example, which is pretty impressive. So you can get Publist for $49 and get everything we just discussed and all the future updates as well. Now you can buy add-on packs, which will give you 5 account integrations per app. It means that if you have, for example, I don't know, Gmail account. I know that this is not like a really good example now because Gmail is quite restricting all this. But if you have like Gmail account, 2 Gmail accounts, this license will be right for you. But if you want to add more, you will just buy your Publist add-on pack, and it will allow you to add more. You can have 2 terabytes plan, which is 295, up to 6 terabytes, which comes with unlimited accounts per app. Now you can join tomorrow as well. We are doing webinars each day. So today we discussed how to increase productivity with Publist, and tomorrow we'll be talking about security. And on Thursday, workflow optimization hacks 101 with Publist. And on Friday, finally, how to securely share, sync, and migrate your data. So make sure you will go to publist.pitchground.com and sign up right now. And also, if you already decided to make a purchase, as David did, go to pitchground.com/products/Publist with capital P and buy a license right now. And tomorrow's webinar about security will be actually handled by Udit, because I'm not feeling very well. I have a fever, and this is actually my fever mug with Bugs Bunny. So so tomorrow it will be with Udit. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining. Thanks a lot for all your questions. And if you have more questions, just feel free to reach out to Ben or Will, and they will be more than happy to answer.
Awesome. We'll talk to you guys all soon.
Thanks a lot, Ben. It was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.